What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Alienware M18 with a 7900M gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're gonna check out ourselves out some Star Wars Outlaws. Now, we're gonna start off at 1080p. I would do 1200p, but it always records all weird, and then DaVinci makes it look all weird even after I'm done rendering it. Ultra Wide turns out fine, and I do use the same rules I do for that. So I don't know why that comes out so different, but it is what it is. So we'll just do 1080p instead. The difference in FPS is probably an FPS or two at most anyway. And then, in the next video, we'll do 1440p. So let's not waste any more time and let's go hop ourselves into the game. So here's the first settings we're gonna go with. Just like on AMD Advantage, we start with the game just on high with native and then go from there. Alright, now let's go check out those advanced graphic settings. There we go. Let's go see how it runs. Well, here we go. And so far, it seems to be doing pretty good in the frame rate department.
This is tough.
Frame times are pretty good too. I'd say they seem pretty similar to the Asus G15 Advantage from what I'm seeing so far. But we're getting way more FPS. But we should. The GPU is a lot more powerful. The CPU is a lot more powerful. It's got faster RAM.
Okay, come here.
And yeah, faster SSD too. Faster networking.
You wouldn't believe the junk they just throw
And
away. I found two purple.
when it's not limited, it has a faster screen. But right now I got it limited to 240 hertz. But half the time, especially in games like this, you don't use the full 480 anyway. So you're going to use 240. We're getting in the 80s to 100s here. Ooh, I think that's money. Heck yeah, money. Hydro spanner. I wonder what the heck that does. It's probably something that goes on a spaceship, or maybe like one of those land speeder things, or land bike things. I don't remember what those ones are called.
A lot of shakedowns tonight. Police will be loaded with credits. I scavenged enough parts to pay off the
You know, unfortunately, we can't see much about the GPU, like, well, anything really.
Huh. There's
But at least the CPU's not at 100C again, so that's nice. Anyway, though, I'd say it's time to move on. Well, now, just for fun, let's try dropping it down to medium, just like we did on the Asus G15 Advantage. Not really necessary, but I just want to do that. Just like on the higher end stuff after this, I'll probably do ultra and then drop it down to high. We won't do medium on those, though, because most people don't want to run medium on those kind of systems. Anyway, though, let's go and see how this does. Hopefully a little bit better. All right, here we go. Medium settings now. Seems like the frame time's got a little bit better. Well, I guess that happens when you get a little bit more FPS too, so it makes sense.
Used to discuss personal affairs. Okay, I need to give you something. Okay? I need to give you something.
Well, definitely more than playable FPS here too. But it seemed to handle high pretty well too. So that's probably what I would play on. Because I don't think you really need FSR on this thing. Unless you want a little bit extra FPS and you're okay with it looking just slightly a bit worse. Although in some ways it looks a little better. I don't know what kind of AA this thing uses, so it could be TA. Let's try FSR out now. We're gonna do just like we did on the Asus G15 Advantage and just do it on quality. And then we'll do frame gen after this. And we'll just do it with it on high. Probably could have bumped it up to ultra if I'm honest, but I just wanted to keep it similar to the Asus G15 Advantage. And here's the rest of the high settings. And there we are. So let's go see how this does. Here we go. We got FSR on now. No frame gen yet, just FSR on quality. With a base resolution at 1080p, so I don't know what that equates to. Probably 960p or something. I think is the guess I made in the video of the G15 Advantage. But I don't know for sure. I should just look it up and then write it down until I can remember it, but it is what it is. Our CPU is not sitting there overheating like crazy, although sitting at 100C is half the time what these AMDs want to do. The desktop ones most of the time, when you're at least, not in games I don't think, but if you fully put them up to the max, they'll go up to like 95, like in a Cinnamon Run or something. I don't think they sit there at 95 in games though. Not unless they have underwhelming cooling, I guess. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. I did recently buy a 9700X, only because I'm making a small PC. Everybody else should be buying the hell out of that 7700X 3D or just a regular 7700X. Those are much better value. Hell, you can go to Micro Center and get this badass deal for like 430 bucks, or at least it was 430 bucks. You've got like a 7800X 3D, a motherboard, and RAM. Like 32 gigs of 6000 megahertz RAM. That's not a bad deal at all. But the motherboard wasn't a micro ATX.
Okay?
Now, unfortunately, I wanted to try to do like kind of a value base, but value and ATX, micro ATX and all that small form factor stuff doesn't really go hand in hand. You generally pay more for small shit. That's just the way it's always been. So I think the whole damn thing ended up being like 2,100 bucks or something. But then I looked up at some other mini PCs, ones that are a little smaller than mine, arguably, but still, they were using like 4070 mobiles, which are really only 4060 desktops with 8 gigs of VRAM. And mine was like the same exact price. So, gotta decide what you want. Smaller form factor, or a little chunkier like mine, but way, way, way more powerful. And there's also a bunch of other stuff I could have picked out that was way more value orientated, like the GPU, but we'll get into that when I do that GPU video. Now we're gonna try frame gen. So there we go, it's on as you can see. Still gonna use FSR 3 as well. And same high quality settings. And here's all the advanced settings. Alrighty, let's get into the game. Alright, here we go. Get ourselves a little frame gen gameplay now.
Hey, come here.
And that definitely seemed to even the frame times out. This happened once before on the Asus G15 Advantage. I think it was Final Fantasy 16 demo, if I recall. Yeah, it didn't get the best frame times until I turned frame gen on. And then it was like epic. Very smooth. So I guess this one wants to copy that. That's alright. I mean, I'll use frame gen if it smooths out the frame times. I don't really care about the fake frames itself, but I'll take nice smooth frame times. Unless somehow it's faking that too, and it's just not showing me the spikes that it's getting if it's having them. But hey, if it's doing a good job hiding that too, good on it, you know? Ooh, That was definitely a glitch. I think I saw that later on, but it almost looked like a freaking airplane wing just appeared out of nowhere down there. Across the left of the screen towards the top. But probably FrameGen's fault. I didn't notice anything like that without FrameGen being on, so I'm blaming it on the gen. On the FrameGen.
Okay? I need to give you something.
Alright. I'd say it's about time for us to go move on to a little camera recorded gameplay now. Now let us get some camera recorded gameplay. Well, that was him welding. Before I started the video, I heard that and I was like, oh shit, is this freaking thing finally ruining the bearings of my fans or something? It's never happened before, but it sounded like fan bearings going out. Oh, that was funny. But, yeah, FrameGen seems to be the way to go on this thing. I know we're not really getting 200 FPS, but we're definitely got a lot smoother frame times like this. I mean, unless that's just all fake too, and it's not really the frame times I'm getting either. Ooh, that was interesting. Did you guys see that? It was like a weird glitch going by here. Interesting. No, I definitely saw that.
Okay?
And it's probably FrameGen's fault if I had to take a guess. Hopefully that kind of stuff doesn't happen too much. And maybe that happened on the ASUS Advantage too, and I just didn't notice. wish there was more places to go in this still city, but I think this is all like the prologue area, so of course they're not going to let you explore too awful much, but hey, I'm glad they at least let me explore this much. Some games are just like, no, you go over here right now. That's all you can do. Fuck you. I'm like, well, that's not going to make the video very... No, we don't care. I'm like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, this already doesn't make the video that interesting, but at least it lets you get good frame rates. Oh, that's right, I never went and got that this time around. Alright, I think that's plenty for camera recorded gameplay, so why don't we go and wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Star Wars Outlaws at 1080p on the Alienware M18 with a 7900M, and they did a very respectable job pretty much on all settings. You could have started it up and just started playing with the default settings, and it would have gotten good FPS. You can play it on high, native resolution, no problem, very nice. Now, hopefully 1440p will be just as good, because a lot of people would rather play 1440p on such a powerful laptop such as this. But it's also nice to have it be 1080p for me anyway, for more esports, because that's pretty much all I'd play with my friends. We'd always mostly play games where FPS counts. And if it's not an esports game, it's something like Diablo 4 or something like that, where you still want lots of FPS. And not lots of stutters, you know? So with that all out of the way, it's time to end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.